from the production side or from my side? Production lah.
Din?
Nak stay macam dia punya
bercerita apa yang berlaku sebenarnya.
okey, pada malam tu
Dia buka ni kan?
malam tu saya pergi ke beli barang makan supper. Jadi saya dah balik lewat dalam 12 lebih pukul 1. Saya datang ke set, saya nampak family Nina dah ada dekat set. Jadi masa tu saya nampak just bapak dia dengan bodyguard si Nina tengah berborak. Jadi mama dia tengah dekat set, tengah macam jumpa Opi. Masa tu Opi dah jumpa dululah sebab saya bawa datang lambat. Jadi saya pun terkejut dengan keadaan tu sebab kita memang tidak ada siapa-siapa selain daripada orang production je datang set. Jadi saya pun terus pergi jumpa dia, say hi lah sebab kita tak ada apa-apa masalah. Jadi kita hi mama apa semua. Okay, then dalam keadaan sama dia macam keadaan yang tak tenang, macam nak ke sana tak boleh, sini tak boleh. Jadi dia ada satu pertanyaan, okay, Jidin, mama nak pergi toilet. Jadi saya suruh budak saya bawa dia masuk dalam untuk pergi toilet. Okay, itu kita stop gang pasal mama masuk toilet. Dalam masa sama saya nampak bapak dia jumpa dengan bodyguard nama Yus, saya panggil Yus, tengah discuss apa saya tak pasti. Dia tengah cakap telefon. Lepas tu dia pas telefon tu kat Yus. Yus pun cakap tempat lain. Saya terus pergi ke bapak dia, cakap hi daddy apa semua. Oh, jumpa. Okey. Tu saya pun ke set balik sebab set pun kita dalam taman di luar kawasan rumah. Dia pun borak, saya tak tahu lagi apa pasal. Mama pun datang keluar cakap dengan saya pasal nanti kalau baju Nina nanti apa semua, kalau tak sempat nak ambil, dia suruh tinggal kat rumah saya. Sebab rumah saya dekat situ. Jadi dia pun masuk balik. Saya tak tahu apa cerita dalam. Terus dia keluar bersama juga dengan Nina. Masa itulah saya dapat tahu kita orang tengah set up untuk VO last scene untuk dia. Jadi bila mama dah tarik, maksudnya kita orang tak sempat buat VO tu. Tak sempat. Jadi tapi dalam keadaan sama dia keluar, dia cakap okay, hi Opi, terima kasih, sorry apa semua. Dia terus ke kereta dalam keadaan bukan tenang tapi macam memaksa. Dia boleh cakap kat Nina, Nina cepatlah, Mimi ada dalam kereta nak tengok. Okey, jadi kita pun tak apa. Okeylah mama, tak pasti ni apa semua. Dia cuma cakap nantilah mama nak pergi nak buat berubat. Okey, tak apalah, saya pun cakap buat apa yang terbaik je lah. Okey, dia pergi ke kereta. Sama-sama lepas tu si bapak dia pergi ke kereta Yus, kereta dia yang bawa Nina ni, buka pintu. Saya pun pergi kat dia orang. Ingat kalau bapak dia dah ambil barang, Yus pun nak gerak, saya nak say thank you je lah. Saya nampak keadaan yang macam mencurigakan, di mana bapak dia bukan berdiri seperti orang biasa cekak pinggang ke apa, tetapi tangan bapak dia di dalam baju yang ada penampakan senjata api. Sebab sapi saya dah pergi-pergi, saya macam masih ragu sebab bukan keadaan yang terang pun. Jadi saya ragu, saya terus patah balik. Saya macam tak sedap hati, saya patah balik. Okay, kita orang duduk kat set lah, macam fikir pasal benda tu kan. Selepas Nina dengan Mama dia dah masuk, bapak dia pun terus masuk, baru kita jumpa kat Yus. Lepas tu muka Yus dalam keadaan pucat, yang macam nak cakap pun tak mampu nak cakap apa. Dia cuba cakap, bang, abang tak nampak ke bang? Dia acuh pistol kat saya. Jadi, yang tu tak perasan. Sebab tu saya cakap, aku datang tadi pun aku nampak macam, tapi aku macam ragu-ragu, aku patah balik, takut macam nak involve interrupt tu. Sebab saya tahu bapak dia macam memaksa Yus buka pintu, apa barang-barang ni lah, tolong bawa masuk. Jadi itu yang saya nampak. Yang lain macam OP, saya tahu dia sekejap aja sebab dia datang jumpa, si hi mama, dia masuk set. Jadi saya yang kena erase sebab saya production manager. Jadi saya kena tahu dia ni buat apa, ni apa semua. Itu keadaan sampailah bapak dia dengan bapak terus gerak macam tiba-tiba dah gerak. Macam itulah.
Gerak dengan Nina tadi lah.
Dengan Nina sekali.
Daripada segi saya, pada malam itu memang kita nak mengikut, saya pun dah terlanggar sedikit SOP, sepatutnya kita habis pukul 12 dan saya pun sudah berjanji dengan Fahmi pukul 12 kena limitkan dia syuting, dan ketika itu adalah last day. Saya rush untuk ke situ, tapi bila memandangkan dah 12 lebih, saya terpaksa riliskan si Nina dan buangkan scene dia. Memandangkan saya dah berjanji, terpaksa saya buangkan, tetapi dia ada kerja untuk voice over yang harus diselesaikan. Sebab ada banyak scene voice over yang saya perlukan. Masa buat voice over tu, saya menyelesaikan scene-scene yang lain di luar. Masa saya tengah buat setup tu, salah seorang saya punya kru dia bagi tahu yang ibu si Nina ni sampai. Dan saya pergi jumpa dia, saya tak sempat nak jumpa dia, masuk dalam. Dia keluar, saya dapat jumpa dia sekejap. Berborak dia sekejap. Dengan Nina pun keluar sekali, dan diorang pun keluar tanpa ada saya tak tahu ketika itu. Assistant director saya tak bagi tahu saya lagi yang VO tu belum selesai. Saya ingat dah selesai. Tapi selepas dia pergi dan saya jumpa ayah dia juga, selfie semualah kan. Okay, saya tidak ada rasa apa-apa keraguan di sebalik itu. Selepas diorang tu pergi, baru saya tahu kejadian-kejadian ini berlaku. Dan bagi pihak saya, pekerjaan saya terganggu oleh kerana voice over tu tak dapat diselesaikan, dan saya dah ada deadline yang harus saya deliver. Oleh kerana itu, mungkin pekerjaan saya agak terganggu untuk menyelesaikan saya punya production. Sepatutnya benda ni tak boleh berlaku beginilah. Sebab apa, kita ada perjanjian-perjanjian kontrak dan sebagainya. So saya pun, bukan saya buat untuk saya buat ada pihak lain, melibatkan finance, melibatkan RTM, melibatkan institusi lain. Itu akan memberi tekanan sedikit pada saya untuk menyelesaikan saya punya production ni lah. Sepatutnya tak boleh berlaku macam ni. Tunggulah saya habis kerja. Lepas tu boleh settle, kau nak tarik, kau nak apa, kau jangan pasal lah. Ni kerja aku terganggu. Itu yang saya sedikit bukanlah tak puas hati, terasa lah kurang ada hormat menghormati antara satu tim dan pekerja-pekerja yang lain.
Kiranya masa dekat set tu tak ada macam kekeh-kekeh sangat ke, atau macam
tidak. Kalau berlakunya kekecohan, semestinya saya dan Jidin akan cuba mengelakkan perkara itu berlaku. Tetapi tiada. Selepas kejadian tu baru saya nampak ada benda-benda tak sepatutnya. Saya dapat alamak, tak best lah benda ni. Itu dah macam ugutan saya rasa lah.
Melayu ke English? Any, okay. In any relationship, husband and wife tu okay. Tapi dengan external family tu, mak mentua, mak sendiri, bapa mentua, bapa sendiri, mesti ada issue from time to time. But nothing major, but always ada issue. So, for me to emphasize on that night itself, during the day, Nina punya call time, if I'm not mistaken, pukul 2, 1. After lunch lah,
yes.
Call time. So usually Nina leaves the house at 7. I leave the house at 9:30, 10. So Nina will leave first. But this time Nina leave lambat lah. So we had a decent breakfast. We spoke about our plan. Besok, since it's last day, besok nak buat apa, Wednesday nak buat apa. Dia ada doctor's appointment. The next day 9 AM too. So I went to work. And then dia pun message, like normal day, dia nak pergi kerja, dia message, I'm leaving the house. Bila dah sampai, I arrive at set, I'm doing my scene now, I'm on a break. Always message. That's how we keep in touch lah. Kalau dia kerja pun, that means I don't need to call her all the time, but we always keep in touch. So end of the day, malam tu I balik, I message dia, normal, cakap dia makan. You guys ada barbecue ke? Dia kata, oh, we're having barbecue, do you want to come? I kata, no lah, I don't want to disturb your work. Your work lah, I tak kacau. Sebab nanti I kacau, mungkin your scene lari ke apa ke. Kita tak apa. And then dia kata, do you want some lamb? Do you want any food? I kata, okay, I don't mind, just bring whatever leftovers. And then she packed some stuff. And then I was watching TV. I spent time with my family. I was watching TV. We keep on keeping in touch, in contact, in communication. Around 11 o'clock, we spoke again. Dia kata maybe ada 2 scene left ke apa. Dia kata but tak apalah sayang, no worries. By 12:30 I rasa dah habis, boleh balik. Dia kata okay lah, kalau 12:31 tak lambat sangat. Okay, no problem. Since the last day, I pun understand lah.
Yeah.
The last time I spoke to her was around 12 o'clock, 12 plus. I was still watching TV. I spoke to her. We were talking about. I asked her whether she's tired or not. She said she's not. She's okay. She just want to get this over with and then nak balik. She said she wants to shower at home. Dia kata sebab you guys have outdoor scene
Yeah.
Dia kata badan dia macam tak best, dia nak mandi kat rumah apa semua. So I said okay lah, don't worry, you go do your thing. Then once you're back, you kat rumah lah, no problem. Then dia kata okay. And then she told me, oh tonight please don't sleep late because we got 9 o'clock doctor's appointment. We have to wake up at 8. So I said okay lah, no problem. I said what about the driver? I said no, the driver is resting now, so tomorrow boleh lah bangun awal. Balik lambat boleh lah bangun awal. I said okay, no problem, take care, love you. Macam biasa. And then around 1 o'clock, 1:30 ke 1 something lah, dia message, oh I'm done shooting now. Lepas tu kata oh that's good. So kata packing now. That means dia nak pack lah, nak balik. So I assume 5-10 minit dia balik lah. 8 minutes after that text, dia message, oh my parents are here now. I was like, huh? Your parents? Okay, what are they doing? Lepas tu kata, oh no wait. And then dia kata, lepas tu I tanya, where are you? Dia kata still at set. Ni WhatsApp Lepas tu dia cakap apa lepas tu I tanya dia tanya what should I do ke. Lepas tu I tanya where are you going. Dia kata I don't know, I'm in the car. Then I said in the car? What are you doing in the car? Whose car? What are you doing in the car? Dia kata I don't know. I don't know dia pun bukan I don't know, IDK saja. So I was like oh. And then I message tak reply. I call, ringing tak answer. Second time off. Then I start panic lah, tak apa hal ni. I call my driver. My driver can't even speak a word. And then kata boss, I cannot do it, tak boleh buat apa-apa boss. Dia ada pistol. Dia ugut saya, dia kata kalau saya halang dia, pistol tu meletup. Then I was like, huh? I still could not absorb that information. I was like, what? Apa ni? Siapa yang datang tu? Dia kata, oh, uncle referred to bapa Nina lah. Takkan ni gila kot bawa pistol. Lepas tu dia kata, dia kata dia nak juga ambil anak dia. Dia kata, macam mana pun dia nak ambil anak dia malam ni juga. From that 10 seconds yang I tak percaya tu, terus I panic. I was like, what happened? So I called Nina, I called the father. The father blocked me, tak angkat. Or off, I tak tahu, tak dapat. I called the mother, tak dapat. So at that point, I could not reach any of them. So then after that, I called my father to ask for his advice because I really did not know what to do. I called my brother Dato' Adam, so for him to check because he is in the entertainment business, so he knows the production houses and all, to check with the production houses what's going on. But that was the last time I spoke to her until today. Yeah.
So as for now, you do not know what's her current situation, how she's feeling, or where she is.
That particular point, that Monday night to Tuesday early morning tu, I do not know at all until the next morning pukul 11 macam itu, we got information that she was in Johor. The father took her to Johor because even the night before we went straight to police station, made report. The police went to his house, to their house, the family home kat Bukit Jelutong. The brother was there. The police spoke to the brother. The brother said they were in Kelantan. But I knew that was a lie because they never mentioned Kelantan any time since I've known them. So I knew they would be somewhere in KL or in Johor.
Sehari esok tu lah.
Selepas.
Esoknya dalam tengah hari saya nak pergi ke office OP. Mama dia akan dah call saya lebih kurang dalam tengah hari. Dia tanya shooting macam mana apa semua. Saya cakap lah ada problem pasal VO je lah. Lepas tu dia nak nombor OP. Dia cakap tak bagi. Sebab OP kalau dia tak nak involve dalam benda-benda macam ni. Lepas tu dia cuba macam menyuruh saya bercakap kalau ada polis call Jidin, dia tak cakap yang tak ada pergelutan, tak ada itu apa semua. Saya cuma cakap dengan dia macam ni mama, saya cuma cakap apa yang saya nampak, apa yang saya dengar, apa yang saya tengok, apa keadaan tu, dan saya explain kalau polis tu bertanya tentang apa-apa dekat situ. Dia tak okeylah kalau macam tu. Baru dia explain dalam dia kata sebelum nak end call tu, dia cakap mama kat Johor ni berubat dengan Nina. Lepas tu saya terus inform, cari Pami, cari Datuk Adam apa semua nak bagi tahu yang dia ada di Johor. Itu yang last lah. Saya tak ada lah.
Even sebelum tu pun, after kita buat report polis datang rumah dia kat Bukit Jelutong. When the father realised we had lodged a report about Number one, when I use the word kidnap at that point, because I do not know any information, hence it's only right for me to call it kidnap. But now since I dah tahu, I know the father has taken, parents has taken Nina. So once the father knows that we talk about the kidnapping and also the firearm situation, the pistol situation, I think the father was a bit panicking. The father called Nina punya driver, yang driver yang bawa Nina ni, cakap dengan dia, try to bagi tahu dia kalau boleh janganlah bagi tahu polis ada pistol, cakaplah kita berlakon. Sebab nanti banyak isu nanti. And then dia cakap dia tu hutang budi besar dengan my driver, Nina my driver. So if the firearm situation does not happen or it's not true, why does he have to call my driver? And why do the mum have to call Gideon? And if this thing has been done in mutual consent or consensus, kenapa bawa lari-lari macam ni? Kenapa tak cakap je? Which I don't understand, you know. Because my phone is always on. I got 2 phones. I got power bank, so it's never out of coverage. Okay, so they can always call me or text me or talk to me anytime, you know, for discussion or whatever, if they are not happy with. But I don't know. Only they can answer all this, not me.
So satu dua hari sebelum kejadian berlaku, ada tak macam pergaduhan atau perbalaan besar you dengan in-law you?
Okay, me and my in-laws, we are okay. But from the beginning, me and my mother-in-law, not so okay. As soon as we got married, the relationship start to deteriorate. But we're still fine. I would put in the fine category, but not great category. Yeah.
Tadi you cakap you ada Nina ada appointment dengan doktor besok
Yes,
tadi kan?
yes.
Nina tengah ngandung ke?
I don't know. If we went to the appointment, we might know.
Okay, soalan daripada Aida Ustaz Salih.
Okay.
Tadi kata ada masalah kewangan. Masalah apa? Bapak dia minta duit ke atau macam mana? Can you explain to that?
I don't think so is right for me to explain in detail berapa about these financial issues ni, because it's not right. Because I think I don't want to put any sort of arrow or say things that akan memalukan another party or whatever. But financially, from the financial standpoint, there was also an issue even from the beginning, because I think it's about the expectation. I am 29 years old. I've been working okay, my family is quite okay, working with family, but I'm 29 years old. You cannot expect me to have the wealth of someone established in the 45, 50, 55, 60 years old. So I think expectation tu ada yang tak align sikit. But I don't want to go into details lah about dia, macam tak elok lah cakap, you know. So current situation, I can take my phone and try to call Nina, terus voicemail. WhatsApp pun single tick. So I do not know. And also I tried to call, I managed to speak to the father. The father said he was willing to meet. Where and when, do not know yet. But so far, this past 3 days, only the father lah I boleh cakap.
Condition dia tahulah you okay ke tidak?
I tak tahu.
Tak tahu langsung.
Tak tahu.
Even the father pun tak bagi tahu apa lagi
The father kata anak dia tahu macam nak jaga. So I don't think so. The father will hurt the daughter. But is she stressed? Is she okay? Is she crying? Is she sleeping well? Did she had her food? I have no idea. Itu memang tak tahu.
Communicate dengan yang father-in-law?
Bila?
Last you communicate dengan your father-in-law?
Today. Today
dalam
morning.
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 Tadi. What is your next step?
Next course of action.
Next course of action is definitely because it's hard. I have to tread between fine lines, between you buat terlebih-lebih melampau-lampau, you burn the bridge. You tak buat apa-apa, susah juga. You tak dapat apa you nak, memang takkan dapat. People step all over you. So it's very hard for me to choose which path I want. But I think for now, since end of the day, they are my wife's family. Macam mana pun still family. Ni bukan yang partner business ke apa yang boleh buang, boleh tukar. So I think the best is still for us to meet and discuss what's the problem, how to move forward.
Okay, soalan untuk Cik Fahmi from one of our bloggers, Sharifah from Gaya Sniping. Just now you mentioned that you've made a police report. So what did the police say? Itu soalan pertama. Soalan kedua, apa yang anda harapkan tindakan seterusnya that you can get from this pendedahan?
Oh, I just want to talk to my wife. Yeah. Because I just want to, I know where she is now. She's at Johor, at her father's house. But I want to talk to her, I want to see her, I want to bring her home.
Adakah
So that's the whole point, because I couldn't get any info, nor I can even have a decent conversation.
do you take this as a kidnapping case?
I don't know. The police will have to classify it, because at that moment when I lodged the police report, why I call it kidnapping? Because I do not have any information, I do not get any contact, I couldn't reach the father, I couldn't reach Nina, I couldn't reach the mother. So literally I do not know what happened. If the police wants to, because it's parents, right? It's not friends or whatever. If the police wants to drop the kidnapping portion, but the intimidation of life, threatening of life, pulling out live firearm, that one must maintain. But you cannot do that in front of people, you know.
Another soalan from Haika from Oslo. Fahmi, are you saying sekarang ni your father-in-law is mentally unstable?
No, I'm not saying that. I think he is okay, but the cause of what drives all this, I do not know.
Mr. Fahmi, after you saying that the father-in-law has not revealed a time and place, would you give him like a timeline, and then if he doesn't answer by then, what the actions will be taken? Let's say like more stern actions.
Yeah, I can take more stern action, but then it will just deteriorate the relationship even more. So I need to give them space to tell me what time so we can meet, because ini macam war lah, katalah negara Amerika dengan Afghanistan ke apa. You cannot keep on going for war. There must be a dialogue for you to solve it. So there's no point we escalate things any further. Better to discuss, find a solution.
Would you
Because we are legally married, and yang kahwinkan kita pun parents dia, bapak dia my wali, bukan Tok Kadi ke orang luar ke apa.
Sorry, report polis tu report di mana?
I buat kat Shah Alam.
Tapi di Shah Alam.
Because the thing was in Setia Alam, so the responsible police station was in that,
Tapi di Shah Alam.
itulah yang station.
Pagi semalam. Ke tengah hari.
Pagi semalam, yes. Early morning on the 2nd of November.
Okay, soalan ni lebih sensitif untuk
Yeah.
keputusan. Do you think that your wife willingly biarkan this thing to happen, atau dia pun dalam keadaan terpaksa? That is number one. Secondly, from the beginning, perkahwinan ni memang dia restui atau tidak?
Okay, very easy, I can answer that. Number one, whether willingly or forcefully, I do not know. But when I talk to the production area, production people, there was a bit or teeny tiny bit of commotion in the room when Nina was resting. Nina rehat tu, kat bilik tu. Probably they had some conversation, I do not know. But as soon as that conversation settled, they took the bags and they left. So what happened, I don't know. And the second question was, dia restui.
Yes.
We got married at Pejabat Agama. Both parents were there. So I assume that is the restu. And the wali was my father-in-law.
Soalan from media hiburan. Adakah Cik Fahmi cuba untuk menghubungi related person through IG or any other social media platform? Since because now the handphone is off. Kalau ada, whether you receive only SIM atau there's any feedback?
Tak faham. Dia lah receive only scene. Oh, it's not even blue tick. Single tick.
Single tick. That means you will block.
Off. Or block. Or tapi tak block sebab gambar profile ada.
I see.
So I think just off.
I see.
Yeah.
Tapi you ada try lah untuk
I did try email, but I don't know it got through or not. So I guess kalau phone tak ada, I don't think so she can access anything, you know. Because this also, I'm not sure when I speak about this. She hasn't contacted me yet. I do not know whether she doesn't want to or she couldn't. But knowing her, she would text or call. Because a day she calls me every hour. Takkan tiba-tiba tak call langsung. Very strange kan. I can show proof on my WhatsApp. We talk. Kalau WhatsApp tu lagi lah, bukan every hour. 1 hour 4-5 kali. So honestly, if you ask me, I do not know. I do not know how's her condition. I know she's well and alive because the parents won't hurt her. It's their children, their daughter. But whether she's sad, she's crying, she's happy, she's stressed, I don't know. But definitely what I know is she hasn't contacted me. I tried to call her, I couldn't get her. Yeah, I think the next best thing for me is to contact the father, because the father seems to wanting to communicate.
Syamil, question pertama, Pak Min Abang, tadi saya dengar kata pihak sebelah sana bawa ke Johor untuk berubat. Ada masalah apa kita sebenarnya untuk berubat apa itu sebenarnya? Maksudnya tradisional ke, moden ke? Satu, dan yang kedua, update dari pihak polis lah. Ada apa?
Update pada pihak polis belum ada lagi. Belum ada lagi. I think definitely within this 1-2 days we will lah. Because from what I know is the father was supposed to go to the police station to record a statement, yeah, and surrender the firearm. That's the last I know lah. Yeah.
Do you know if the father went to the police station?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we don't really get updated macam ni.
Pak yang berubat tu,
Hmm.
itu metode yang
Okay.
sebab dia kata macam tu kan, katanya pihak
Yes,
sebelah
dia nak pergi berubat, which I do not know what, dekat mana, kenapa, sebab apa. So basically macam gini lah. If nak pergi berubat traditional atau conventional lah, modern, I ni gila ke husband tak nak berubat? Kalau ada penyakit, I will go. If perubatan tu merepek-repek, mungkinlah I kata no. So dalam logiknya, I do not know what. That is the most frustrating thing, when I don't get the information, and I'm the husband, I don't get any information, I don't know. So we can only guess what.
Okay, pemain family you sendiri macam mana? Ada tak orang pun involved untuk selesaikan masalah?
My father and my brother has been helping me, more of a moral support. Same, actually whole family moral support. But I speak more to my father and my brother, because this is my first time dealing with all this. I have no experience. I don't know kalau business yang lain. Ada isu ni, kita panggil legal counsel, kita saman, kita buat surat ke apa, kita panggil meeting, kita boleh find a solution for that problem. Business lain, emotional tu tak ada. Ini dengan life, dengan family, partner, wife, apa semua. So it's not easy. So I consult them quite a bit. So they also advise, do not go overboard. Janganlah panggil lawyer ke apa ke. Polis tu kita nak panggil because of my driver, where he pointed the gun at the, I'm not sure, left or right stomach, abdominal area, and he was freaked out. He was panicking, his face was pale, he couldn't speak. So it's more of his life. And to solve this issue, I think as per their advice to me, whatever it is, we have to meet and discuss lah. Because takkan report polis sana, report polis sini, buat situ, buat sini, takkan forever macam ni tak? Kan?
Keputusan tentang dia report penculikan dan senjata api atau report penculikan menggunakan senjata api, ataupun senjata api tak ada report sebenarnya.
The report was the parents had taken my wife without my consent. I have to be very specific, without my consent. And in order to do that, he threatened my bodyguard with a live firearm. So I don't know whether it answers your question, but I think it answers your question. And let me reiterate again, the word I used kidnapping at that time because I have zero information about that. So now if the police would like to reclassify it, no problem.
Assume for a time and place to meet if he yet to reply. Would you suggest to him?
I would. If he wants to meet me now, I'll go. He wants to meet in Johor now, I'll go to Johor. No problem. Yeah. So it's actually the ball in their court, which they are happy to play. You know, passing the ball left to right, and they are not in a rush to engage with me. You know. So I'll just have to wait and keep on hoping and praying that they get back to me.
So dia nak tanya, family ni lah memang dekat stay Johor ke macam mana?
The father is in Johor, but the father works in Johor, but the rest of the family in Bukit Jelutong. So main house I would say Bukit Jelutong lah, Johor tu tempat dia kerja. But now I don't know, because maybe they want to be far away from me ke apa ke, or maybe tempat berubat tu kat sana, I don't know. So they want to Johor.
You have no plan to search for them in Johor.
Okay,
To search for them in Johor.
I did.
You did.
I went yesterday.
Maksudnya lepas kali report tu, you pergi Johor
Yeah,
macam mana?
I went. I saw I did not see the father. I was not allowed in. I was just at the gate. I just see the father through the window. That's it. I went. I was there for 1 hour outside.
Menjawab tapi tak pernah masuk lah.
Tak faham.
Maksudnya dia buka tengok siapa yang datang.
Ya.
Tak pernah akan masuk lah. Tak ada perhubungan, tak ada apa.
Tak ada. Tak ada. Dia tahu. Because it's my wife. My wife kat Sabah Sarawak pun I pergi. Kalau dia kat hutan mana pun I pergi. But I was not allowed to see her. Like you said, there are other actions that I could take, legal actions, because I am the legal custodian, legal guardian, I'm the husband, especially in Sharia law. But takkan kita nak pergi sampai that extent. Takkan kita nak buat sampai she's not allowed to see the parents. But that's not a nice family environment to live in. So I don't want to go there.
Adakah ini juga melibatkan ransom atau apa orang kata wang tebusan? Ada atau tidak melibatkan?
Wang tebusan, ransom. Sekarang ni tak ada. They did not ask for anything. Only when I meet them, I would know what they are asking for. Because I haven't met them yet, I do not know.
Any further question? That's about it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, thank you.